You ever feel like you're running on empty? Not physically tired, but mentally drained, like your brain has been running a marathon while you've been sitting at your desk. You wake up exhausted. You go to bed restless, and somewhere in between, you're just trying to keep up with everything that's demanding your attention, the notifications, the conversations, the decisions, the constant mental noise. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you're leaking energy everywhere without even realizing it. And here's the thing, most people don't understand the difference between being busy and being drained. You can have a completely free day and still feel exhausted because exhaustion isn't always about what you do. It's about where your energy goes. In today's video, we'll explore what's really draining you, why modern life is designed to scatter your focus, and most importantly, how to protect your mental energy so you can actually feel present, calm, and in control of your life. Let's start with the truth nobody talks about, the reality of energy leaks. Think about your energy like a phone battery. You start the day at 100%. But by noon, you're already running low, and you can't figure out why you didn't do anything that demanding. Right, here's what's happening. Every notification is a 1% drain. Every decision you make, even small ones, takes energy. Every conversation that leaves you feeling off. Another leak. Every scroll through social media, more energy gone. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're handing away your power. Researchers at Stanford found that decision fatigue is real. The more choices we make throughout the day, the more our mental energy depletes. This is why by evening, you can barely decide what to eat for dinner. Your brain is tapped out. But it's not just decisions, it's the people you allow into your space. Some people energize you. They leave you feeling lighter, inspired, ready to take on the world. Others drain you. They complain constantly. They create drama. They pull you into negativity, and you walk away feeling heavy. These are what psychologists call energy vampires. And the hard truth is, you've been letting them feed. Now I know what you're thinking, but I can't just cut people out of my life, and you're right. You can't always remove everyone who drains you. But you can control how much access they have to your energy. You can set boundaries. You can limit your exposure. You can stop giving your full attention to people who give you nothing but stress in return. Because here's what nobody tells you. Being kind doesn't mean being available. Being compassionate doesn't mean being a dumping ground. You can care about someone and still protect your peace. In fact, research from UCLA shows that maintaining healthy boundaries is directly linked to lower stress levels and better mental health. When you stop letting people drain you freely, you start reclaiming your power. Which brings us to the next truth. Your mind is constantly being fed. You wouldn't eat junk food all day and expect to feel healthy, right? So why do we consume mental junk and expect to feel clear, focused, and calm every piece of content you watch? Every conversation you engage in, every song you listen to, it's all feeding your mind, and most of us are feeding our minds garbage. We wake up and immediately scroll through news designed to trigger anxiety. We watch videos that make us compare ourselves to others. We engage in arguments online with strangers who don't even care. We fill every quiet moment with noise because silence feels uncomfortable. But here's what happens when you do that. You never give your brain a chance to reset. According to research from Harvard Medical School, constant stimulation prevents our brains from entering default mode network, the state where we process emotions, consolidate memories, and restore mental energy. Without those moments of rest, your brain is like a computer with 50 tabs open. It slows down, it crashes. It can't function properly. So what's the solution you need to audit your mental diet? Start paying attention to what you're consuming. Ask yourself, after I watch this, read this, or engage with this, do I feel better or worse? Does this add value to my life? Or does it just fill time? If it drains you, cut it out. Replace the scroll with a walk. Replace the news binge with a book. Replace the argument with silence. It's not about being uninformed or disconnected. It's about being intentional. Because when you control what goes into your mind, you control how you feel. And if you've been feeling this weight, this constant mental drain, it might help to talk it through with someone who actually gets it. That's why we're partnering with BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video. BetterHelp makes therapy accessible. You answer a few questions, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can message them anytime or schedule live sessions that fit your schedule if it's not the right fit. Switching therapists is easy and free. Therapy isn't just for crisis moments. It's for anyone who wants to understand themselves better, set boundaries, and build mental clarity. So if you're ready to stop leaking energy and start protecting your peace, you can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/akickinthehead. Thanks to BetterHelp for supporting this video. Now, let's talk about the moments that cost you the most energy. The cost of reacting. Most people don't lose energy because life is hard. They lose it because they react to everything. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you're angry for the next 20 minutes. A coworker makes a comment, and you spend hours replaying it in your head. Someone doesn't text back, and you spiral into overthinking. Every single reaction is an energy transaction, and most of the time, you're overpaying. Think about it. Would you give a stranger $50 just because they bumped into you? Of course not, but you'll give them your peace, your focus, your mental clarity over something that won't matter in a week. Here's the shift you need to make between every trigger and your reaction. There's a space. That space is where your power lives. If you can pause even for 5 seconds before responding, you take back control. Research from Princeton University shows that people who practice response delay, meaning they pause before reacting, report significantly lower stress and higher emotional resilience. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about choosing which feelings deserve your energy. Not everything needs a reaction. Not every comment needs a response. Not every situation needs your involvement. Some things are just meant to pass by. And when you stop reacting to everything, you stop bleeding energy everywhere. Now let's talk about something that silently drains you every single day. The inability to say no. You say yes to plans you don't want to attend. Yes to projects that don't align with your goals. Yes to conversations that drain you. And then you wonder why you're exhausted. You're not burned out from doing too much. You're burned out from doing things that don't matter to you. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you betray yourself, and that betrayal costs energy. Here's the truth. Saying no isn't selfish. It's self-preservation. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You don't need to justify your boundaries. People who respect you will understand people who don't. Well, they were never respecting your energy anyway. According to research from Duke University, people who struggle to set boundaries experience higher rates of anxiety, depression, and burnout because when you can't say no, your life becomes a series of obligations instead of choices. And living that way is exhausting. So starting today, practice saying no without guilt. No, I can't make it. No, that doesn't work for me. No, I need to focus on other priorities. It's a complete sentence. You don't need to add sorry. Or maybe next time, just no, clear, calm, unapologetic. And watch how your energy shifts when you stop giving it away freely. Here's another energy leak. Most people ignore your mornings. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows, yet most people wake up and immediately give their freshest, clearest energy to their phone, to emails, to other people's demands, to the chaos of the world. You're handing over your power before you've even claimed it. Researchers at Stanford found that how we spend the first 60 minutes after waking directly impacts our stress levels, focus, and emotional regulation throughout the day. If you start your day reactive, you'll spend the rest of it reactive. So here's what changes everything. Protect your mornings like they're sacred. No phone for the first 30 minutes. No emails, no social media, no news. Instead, breathe, move your body, stretch, journal, sit in silence, ask yourself what actually matters today. What will I give my energy to? What will I refuse to let control me? When you start your day grounded instead of scattered, you become unshakable. You move through the world with clarity instead of chaos. You stop being pulled in every direction because you've already set your direction. Now let's get to the final piece. The one most people never master, the power of silence. You've cut the energy drains, you've stopped reacting, you've learned to say no, you've protected your mornings. But there's one more test, and it's this: stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand you. You're wasting energy trying to make others get why you've changed, why you're distant, why you don't engage like you used to, why your priorities have shifted. And here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to understand your growth. Some people benefited from your lack of boundaries, from your availability, from the version of you that said yes to everything And when you change that, threatens them. So they'll question you, they'll call you different, cold, distant, and you'll feel the urge to explain, to justify, to prove that you're still good, still worthy, still deserving of their approval. But here's what you need to hear. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your peace. People who truly care will see your growth and respect it. People who demand explanations are often the ones who benefited from your exhaustion. Every time you explain yourself, you drain energy. Every justification weakens your resolve. So stop. Let them misunderstand. Let them talk. Let them wonder. You stay quiet, not out of pride but out of wisdom, because silence is strength. When you stop explaining, you stop needing approval, and that's real freedom. Research from the American Psychological Association found that people who stop seeking external validation and instead focus on internal alignment report higher life satisfaction, lower anxiety, and greater sense of purpose, because the truth is, peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the mastery of attention. You decide what deserves your energy, what earns your words, what's worthy of your reaction. You become the architect of your calm. And when you do that, everything changes. People notice something different about you. You don't rush. You don't argue. You don't chase. You move with intention. You speak with clarity. You protect your focus, like your life depends on it, because it does. So here's what you've learned today. You've learned that energy leaks happen when you let the wrong people, the wrong content, and the wrong reactions drain you. You've learned that your mind needs to be fed intentionally, not just constantly. You've learned the power of the pause, that sacred moment between trigger and response. You've learned that saying no is how you say yes to yourself. You've learned that your mornings are your foundation, and you've learned that silence is often the strongest response you can give. But this isn't just information. This is transformation. You're no longer someone who reacts to life. You're someone who creates it. You're no longer scattering your energy. You're protecting it, directing it, mastering it. And here's the thing. Nobody's going to protect your peace for you. Nobody's going to guard your energy. People will take as much as you allow. Distractions will consume as much as you feed them. But when you start treating your energy like your most valuable resource, everything shifts. You stop chasing. You start attracting. You stop explaining. You start embodying. You stop proving. You start being. So from this moment forward, ask yourself, before every commitment, every conversation, every click, is this fueling me or draining me? Does this align with my peace? Or does it scatter my focus if it doesn't serve you? Let it go without guilt, without explanation. Just let it go, because your energy is sacred, and the life you want, the calm you crave, the clarity you're searching for, it all starts when you stop leaking and start leading your life with intention. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below and let us know one change you're making today to protect your energy. And if you found value in this video, hit that like button so we can keep creating content that actually helps you grow. Stay tuned, because the next video is going to challenge how you think about your daily habits and how small shifts can create massive change in your mental health. See you next time.